Time right now is 5:37. Time for our first check on the traffic.
Hey guys.
Welcome back from vacation.
Hey, thanks. You know where I was in Florida, down in the villages, you don't need to be stuck in traffic because you just ride around in golf carts.
It's America's, what is it, something, hometown? The villages. Friendliest hometown.
And it was friendly. And I cannot wait till I can retire and have a golf cart.
There you
That's
go.
all I care about.
That's
We're working toward that right now.
What a great retirement plan.
It's only, what, $8,000 for a golf cart? Just got to start saving.
Oh, you can find one on Craigslist for a lot less.
Probably. Well, if you don't have the, fortunate situation. Activity construction-wise at County Road 30, otherwise known as 93rd Avenue. I actually used to live up right near this area when 93rd was a bigger deal. But those of you who still travel up here in Brooklyn Park know that it can be a big deal for you. And that is under construction. And we'll see that work continue until mid-October, so prepare for some slowdowns in that area. A little farther to our south, watch for some construction coming up a little bit later this week on Highway 52, especially if you use that to travel northbound into St. Paul. We are going to be closing northbound Highway 52 between Concord Street and 94, but again, that doesn't start until Thursday night, and that should lift Friday morning, so hopefully won't affect most of the morning commuters, but that is some overnight construction. We may want those spring temperatures, but remember, with the spring temps, often means it's that construction season. It's kicked off, and actually I got an email while I was on vacation, Keith, that said, it's construction season.
Dun, 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 dun,
and I said, here we go. So let's right now talk more about our weather. Doesn't feel very spring. Hey Keith, good morning everyone. We're checking out those roadways, and so far the weather is doing us a bit of a favor because we haven't really started the melting enough to really welcome all the construction zones, and we're not so cold that we're seeing all those freezing patches we've had over the last few weeks. It seems as though we're right in that middle, that sweet spot where traffic seems to not have a lot of obstacles. We see that today, Highway 10 at University Avenue, where traffic is flowing right along. Not much to see here, not a lot of action, and that is good news in the world of traffic. We like to keep things quiet. That means your drive is looking all right. 52 at Eaton Street, we see traffic continuing to build on that northbound side especially, but so far plenty of space to move. No brake light action here as you head toward downtown St. Paul. Some construction coming that way, though. That will actually close a stretch of Highway 52 later this week. I'll get to that coming up, so stay tuned. 394 at Dunwoody Boulevard. Eastbound traffic is what you see here, heading toward downtown Minneapolis, moving at the posted speed, although it is getting a little bit more crowded. Looking to our map, we can check out the speeds in a few other areas, and it looks like we're checking out first the far northwest metro, where things are looking good. Now, in between the Clearwater and St. Cloud area, we're watching for some construction to get underway. Originally, it was scheduled to start on Monday, April 1st, going to be working on a 5 to 7 mile stretch, which will slow you down as you're traveling from the Twin Cities up to the St. Cloud area, and that will last through the summer, especially create some trouble on the weekends. However, now right in the direct metro area, we see those traffic levels building, especially on that north side. South side still fairly quiet. I'll be updating you all morning long, including where some of the construction has already begun. That includes an area in Brooklyn Park. That's coming up in about 10 minutes. Guys.
All right, thanks, Kelsey. It is 5
Tuesday to all of you. We are seeing the start of construction season out on the Twin Cities roadway, so that will be one thing you'll have to deal with as you make your way to work or school this morning. For the rest of you, our road conditions looking pretty good overall. So 35W at 42nd Street, we see what we normally see at this hour, slowing traffic as you head northbound toward downtown Minneapolis, but as a whole, road conditions working in your favor, some nice movement, and for 611, it's pretty much what you would expect. 35E at County Road E up in the Northeast Metro, we often see our traffic levels get heavier first on 35E and 35W as you travel southbound up on the north side. Today, still plenty of room to move. We're keeping those posted speeds where we like to keep them, right at the post. Season begins. That construction in this particular area will last through mid-October, and a few other spots popping up as well. I'll detail some of those coming up, guys.
All right.
Hi everyone, the Fox 9 Morning News continues now on this Tuesday morning. Thanks for waking up with us, checking out our Twin City streets, and we find ourselves in sort of an in-between phase in Minnesota, which is, it's a little too cold to start some of our major construction projects, but it's just warm enough where we don't have a lot of the wintry driving issues. So kind of a sweet spot if you're looking for a silver lining in sort of our cold weather. Which I know you're probably sick of. Here's a look at 169 at the junction of 610. Some heavier than normal traffic as you travel southbound. There's a reason for this. Not just the stoplights up in this area between Champlain and Brooklyn Park slowing you down, but also some construction. 93rd Avenue is closed over 169 for some reconstructing of that intersection, and that will not reopen until mid-October. Looking around to a few other spots in the Twin Cities, we do see nice open roadways here. 35E at County Road E. Southbound traffic still a little heavier than on that northbound side, but that is pretty construction project starting a little later this week, starting on Thursday. It'll be just overnight, so hopefully it won't affect a ton of you, but that will be northbound Highway 52 actually closing between Concord Street and 94, which could trickle into the first part of our morning commute. The time is 6:27. I just got chased by Keith and our floor director, but I'm here now to show you. Fortunately, not a ton of action out there that we need to be worried about, so my focus doesn't need to be quite all right here at the moment. On the east side, 694 remains green through that Oakdale area. We continue to see traffic levels building, and we zone into a few of the construction projects coming later this week. Northbound Highway 52 will be closing from that stretch of Concord Street up to 94, something to be aware of for a little later in the week. South side still fairly quiet, although we are seeing those levels building. I'll be standing by, and as long as I don't get chased out of the studio by my buddy Keith, I will be back. Guys.
All right, thank you, Kelsey.
Why some people are deciding it's not a good idea to drive alone. I'll tell you about that coming up. Hey everybody, checking out those roadways right now. Good driving conditions. It may be chilly, but not cold enough where it's affecting our travel. And it's so cold that some construction projects are actually on hold. So a little bit of an in-between time that actually works pretty good for those of you who have a morning commute. 494 24th Avenue, we have a good traffic flow here. Westbound side, seeing brake lights popping on here and there, but no major slowdowns, no crashes along that Bloomington corridor. Of course, when you get around that Xerxes Avenue bridge construction project, things do slow down a little bit, but you're probably pretty used to that by now. Highway 36 at Lexington Avenue, westbound traffic continues to be a little heavier than the eastbound side, but overall, plenty of activity in both directions, and we're keeping it close to the posted speed. Nice to see now that we're entering the 7 o'clock hour. So far, this is still one of only 2 crashes during our morning rush this morning, 694 at 252, but this is actually the second crash at this junction. So the same area, 2 different incidents, and it looks like drivers passing by are using some caution, but not creating any major delays. Looking at our map, we actually don't have a lot of delays at all. A lot of congestion in the spots where you would typically expect it on a morning like this, but those road conditions, again, fairly easygoing. We're looking now to 169, where we do have a little construction going on. If you travel 93rd Avenue or County Road 30, that stretch over 169 is actually closed. Some construction going on. They're reconstructing the intersection, and that will not reopen until mid-October. So yes, construction season has begun. Officially, it started last week here in the metro. In the northeast, Metro 35 East, some heavy traffic southbound through the White Bear Lake, Vadnais Heights area, but nothing really out of the ordinary there on the north side. A little farther south, watch for some construction later this week on Highway 52 from Concord Street up to 94. I'll talk a little bit more about that coming up. But those gas prices, unfortunately, for the Twin Cities drivers, the gas prices around here have gone up a little bit. We're actually now above that national average, while overall the national average coming down a tick. So you win some, you lose some. Right now the cheapest we're finding about $3.44 overnight. Those prices actually pretty scattered, so hunting for a deal won't be too hard today. Time is 7:13. That's it from the world of traffic and transportation. So ladies, back over to you.
Okay, thanks, Kelsey.
Happy Tuesday, everyone. I'm Kelsey Soby. Thanks for waking up with the Fox 9 Morning News. We're getting you started today, and on the road to wherever you're headed this morning, you'll find yourself moving along pretty nicely. Not a lot to look at. Crosstown at Highway 100, eastbounders are looking at something that is slowing them down. Actually, that would be the sun. It's a little bright out there for some of you, so bring those sunglasses and prepare for those sun up slow downs. We love the sun, but we don't love it in our eyes. Looking to a few other spots out there where we have some slowdowns. We haven't had a lot of crashes, so that's the good news. So the few areas where we see some slowdowns are either where you would typically see them at this hour, or you're maybe not noticing. Some heavy traffic. 35W southbound starts to get heavy at Highway 10. Sometimes at this hour we have heavy traffic starting as far north as Blaine, Lionel Lakes. Not the case today. Pretty smooth sailing. 36 westbound, heaviest traffic through the Roseville area. We're pretty used to that as you travel from 35E to 35W. Down on the south side, watch for some construction a little later this week. Starting on Thursday night, we'll have a shutdown of Highway 52 northbound up to 94. That just is an overnight project, though, fortunately. If you're looking for a reason to avoid paying those expensive gas prices, here it is. Metro Transit saying it's a good idea to not drive alone. If you take a part in the Commuter Challenge, you pledge to walk, carpool, or take the bus, take the train, or just bike. Basically, don't drive alone. If you sign up at mycommuterchallenge.org, you can win some prizes. I also put a link on my Facebook page, just a good excuse to, treat the environment right. We're going to go now to M.A. Roscoe, who's getting a little artsy for us this morning.
Morning. Morning, Kelsey.
Hey, good morning, you guys. It still is a little lighter. We've experienced that over the last few weeks. Some people on spring break. Another factor working in our favor is we might have the chilly temps that feel a little wintry for this time in the year, but here's the benefit. A little too cold to start some major construction projects like the one that's going to create single file traffic on I-94 between St. Cloud and Clearwater, a 5 to 7 mile stretch. It's been put on hold because it's too chilly. So some of our construction projects actually on hold, but with the wintry feeling temperatures, we're not seeing the winter precipitation. So sort of the sweet spot where traffic seems to be moving along nicely. 494 at Flying Cloud Drive. We're even seeing the sunshine, which actually is one of the things slowing us down today. So bring those shades. You want to make sure you're not sitting in some jammed up traffic in the eastbound side simply because of our beautiful sunshine, which we've been longing for. Looking to a few other spots out there, I've noticed County Road 30, that is closed. There's some construction going on in that stretch over 169 that will last through mid-October. A little farther east, some of our heavy traffic spots, pretty typical. 694, we're experiencing some of that sunrise slowdown here as you approach that 35W junction. Also on the west side there, we do see westbound lanes being slowed a little bit. And to the south side, we're watching Highway 52 where there's heavy traffic northbound as you approach that junction at 94. And what we're going to be seeing happening on Thursday is overnight we'll actually be closing a stretch of 52. That will be between Concord Street and 94 in St. Paul. That should lift by 5 a.m. on Friday morning, but sometimes we do see the trickle effect start to just impact the first few drivers who head out onto the roadways. We're going to be checking out gas prices coming up in about 10 minutes, so be sure to stay tuned for that. Right now, though, at 7:39, it's time for our weather. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for waking up with the Fox 9 Morning News. I'm Kelsey Soby. It's been an unlucky day for those of you who have to travel near the junction of 694, 94, and 252. We had two different crashes there earlier this morning, and then now we cleared those away. And as you travel a little farther south, down 94 to 57th Avenue, we see some slowdowns related to yet another crash sort of impacting that same area. We had a crash at 42nd Avenue, and it may not just be one. It looks like there's a chance two separate crashes. Either way, those of you traveling from Brooklyn Park, Brooklyn Center, down southbound toward Minneapolis, prepare for some slowdowns, not just at those typical exit spots once you get closer to downtown Minneapolis, but even along that stretch of 94. One other spot out there we're showing you, camera one, if we're over there, we're seeing some bright sunshine, by the way, slowing some of you down. Highway 212 in the Southwest Metro, pretty easy breezy, still a bit of the spring break effect. A lot of people still on vacation or just getting back. That's still easing some of our traffic, but notice in some spots eastbound, you'll see that on our map as well, popping up, that we're doing some slowing down as resulting from some bright sunshine. Here we are, 494 eastbound. This is one of the spots where it's a little slow going. The crosstown experiencing that a little bit as well through the Edina area, although the westbound side's being crowded. That is what we would typically see anyway. Back to that northwest metro, watch for some added congestion 169 southbound. Construction season is underway, and 93rd Avenue over 169 is closed for some construction. A little farther east, we keep it pretty similar to a normal Tuesday where we have heavy traffic on those busy interstates, but overall no major delays. Very few crashes this morning. If you're filling up the gas tank, Twin Cities average has now popped just a tick above the national average, unfortunately, but some people are reporting they're getting gas for $3.44, so happy hunting. The time is 7:57. We're taking a break. Some of you want to know a few spots worth avoiding. I'll have all that coming up and where the construction is starting.
Oh, goody. Thanks for sending us your comments on Facebook this morning. Never quite know how people are going to kind of describe those potholes, Kelsey.
They're
And they
just
are
wide and
They're everywhere.
deep.
You know what I noticed? So I just flew back from Florida as I was leaving.
You
The
can see
lush
them?
green of
You can see
Florida,
them when you're
nice
flying
roads.
over?
And then you're landing in Minnesota. It's like, oh gosh, it looks like this place has been beat up pretty
like a
bad.
war zone.
But you know, that's what winter is, a war zone, right? Well,
Yes.
and when we do start to fix those potholes, that'll sort of just add to the construction season congestion. We know how that goes. And today, out on our roadways, we're doing all right. We don't need any more congestion in this area. 35E at Lone Oak Road, we see northbounders not slowing down too much, despite the fact we have a crash in this area. Looks like we're cruising right along, in fact. Good to see, not definitely what's typical. Some of you are writing messages. I always love to get your tweets. Joel Owens tweets, where's all this traffic started coming from? Well, those of you who are on spring break, some of you are now back, and that's adding to the congestion once again, although it seems like we're still catching a break when it comes to the congestion right now. I think we probably won't see the end of the spring break effect for another couple weeks. Let's go to our map see how things are looking for those of you who are about to head out the door. Overall, again, it's a fairly easy day. I mentioned that construction project that's on hold due to the cold weather. That would be the 194 from St. Cloud to Clearwater. There'll be a 5 to 7 mile stretch that will be under construction through July. At times, it will be very slow going because that zone will be in single lane mode, and that creates a lot of congestion, especially if you travel in that area on the weekends, which many of you do. Cabin season, not too far away. Up on the north side, another construction project we're keeping our eye on is 169 at 93rd Avenue. That stretch of 93rd over 169 is closed, and there will be construction going on in that area until mid-October. Looking a little farther east, heavy traffic in a few of the typical spots. Nothing too surprising. 36, 35 East, 694. Most of our traffic up a little farther north has started to die down as we're now progressing into the 8 o'clock hour. A look at the south side. We had a crash reported Cedar Avenue near that Minnesota River Bridge. Although when I looked at the jam cam there, I didn't see a lot of anything. So we're just moving right along. The gas gauge today shows us the national average at 361. The national average has come down. Unfortunately, the Twin Cities gas prices have not. We're checking out at 362, although many stations reporting prices in the 340s. So, all right, we're at least keeping it down below the national average for our best deals. It's time now to talk more about our weather, which still is